Have you ever walked up to a blackjack table and wondered if there is something specific you should be looking for to give yourself the best chance to win? Beyond understanding basic strategy, savvy players pay attention to the game's setup itself. The number of decks used in a game of blackjack does indeed change the odds, making them slightly less favorable for the player as more decks are added. While the impact might seem small, it is a consistent shift that basic strategy players should be aware of. The core reason for this shift lies in the mathematical probabilities associated with a finite deck of cards. In a single deck, certain cards like aces and 10-value cards, which are crucial for making a natural blackjack, representing a much larger proportion of the remaining cards as cards are dealt. This effect, known as card depletion, means that when a specific card is removed from a single deck, its absence has a more significant impact on the probabilities for subsequent hands. For example, if an ace is dealt from a single deck, the likelihood of another ace appearing decreases noticeably. When you introduce multiple decks, say 6 or 8, the removal of a single ace has a much smaller proportional effect on the overall pool of cards. Consequently, the advantage gained from knowing certain cards have already been dealt is diminished. This slight dilution of the card pool makes it marginally harder to get those premium hands and subtly increases the house edge against the player over many hands. So, what does this mean for you at the table? When choosing where to play blackjack, make it a habit to observe how many decks the casino uses. Most casinos clearly state this on a small placard near the table, or you can simply ask the dealer. Prioritize playing at tables that use fewer decks, such as single-deck or double-deck games, if they are available and offer otherwise favorable rules. While a 6-deck game is still perfectly playable, opting for a 2-deck game could shave a small fraction off the house edge, tipping the scales just a tiny bit more in your favor. It is a simple step you can take to make a more informed choice. Beyond just the number of decks, another critical factor to consider is the concept of penetration. This refers to the percentage of cards dealt out of the shoe before the dealer shuffles. Even in a game with many decks, if the dealer deals a high percentage of those cards before shuffling, the game effectively behaves more like one with fewer decks towards the end of the shoe. A good rule of thumb is to look for tables where at least 60 to 75% of the cards are dealt before a shuffle. This allows for the card depletion effect to become more pronounced, offering a better chance for skilled players to recognize changes in the card distribution. Understanding how the number of decks impacts blackjack odds, combined with an awareness of card penetration, gives you a significant advantage in making smart table selections. It is about stacking the probabilities in your favor whenever possible. By seeking out games with fewer decks and good penetration, you are not just playing blackjack, you are playing strategically, making more informed decisions that can improve your long-term enjoyment and results at the casino.